Hello everyone, my name is Phoebe Amaike and you're welcome to 2021. We'll be exploring what our rights are under the 1999 Constitution as a Nigerian. And I think it is very important, especially in light of some of the things that happened last year, especially the NSAS protests. It is important to understand where you stand as a Nigerian, what your rights are, what benefits accrue to you as a Nigerian. So in this episode, and subsequent episodes after, we'll be exploring what those rights are. You do not come to this life to just live life like your life has to have meaning. Life has to be worth something, and if you're religious, you know that the truth will set you free. I think it's more appropriate to say that information will set you free because it is what you know that you can act on. So join me as we discuss what our rights are. It is important to understand that we have the Constitution, which is like the major law, the foundational law in Nigeria, and that the Constitution is very, very important. It is so important that any other law that is created by the legislature or an executive order that negates or goes against what the Constitution is saying cannot stand. Such a law can be repealed. It cannot even stand. That's how important the Constitution is. The Constitution is what makes provision for the position of the president, how many years he will spend, the position of the governor, the fact that we have a Senate and a House of Reps. It is the Constitution that makes provision for all of this. And it is this same Constitution that makes provisions for your fundamental human rights. These rights have been described as inalienable. Yes, that's the way. They've been described as inherently bestowed on everybody. So regardless of whether you are rich or you are poor, you're Nigerian or you're American, you are entitled to those rights. And these rights have been entrenched in the 1999 Constitution by virtue of chapter 4. They are like maybe 11 or thereabouts. So they have been entrenched in our Constitution, and that means that you are entitled to these rights. Anything that happens against those rights, you have a cause of action in court. So that's what we'll be looking at subsequently. And today we'll be looking at your right to life. Do you actually have the right to life? Is it possible for your right to life to be deprived? And if it is deprived, under what circumstances can it be validly be deprived? So we'll be looking at what our right to life is. Now, under section 33 of the 1999 Constitution, every Nigerian, regardless of where you were born, who your parents are, whether your father is Dangote or your father maybe your father sells spare parts at Alaba, or your mother or father is a cleaner in one school. Whoever your parents are, whoever you are, whatever station in life you are entitled to the right to life. By virtue of just being born, you are entitled to the right to live. So, and then, in conjunction with that right to live is the right to defend your right to live. If that is the right to self-defense, you can defend yourself. If your right to life is being threatened. So we've established that you have the right to live. What are some of the things is it possible for your right to live to be limited? According to the Constitution, section 33, if you have it, you can download it from the internet, you can buy it from any bookshop. It's something that you should have handy. It's almost like your Bible, the Bible for Nigerians. I think every country has a Bible. Every country that has a constitution has a Bible. So your constitution should be like your Bible. You should have it in hand. Now, by virtue of section 33 of the Constitution, your right to life is not absolute. That means that there are instances when you can be deprived of your right to live. And what are some of these instances? I think they're like 4. The first one is if a court of competent jurisdiction pronounces a death sentence for the commission of a felony, such as maybe the person committed murder or maybe I think in some cases armed robbery. Yes, if a court, competently delivers a judgment, a death sentence, that person has been validly deprived of his or her right to live. The only person he can appeal to is God. And that's, supposing that the person doesn't appeal, blah, 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 and, all the other processes. So in that instance, that person's right to life has been deprived validly. How do you escape that position? Do not commit a crime. Do not commit murder. Do not kill. Do not steal with gun. Don't even steal at all. Those are the ways that you can escape being in that position. But if you do, be praying to God that maybe you get a very good lawyer, or maybe they grant you amnesty. But I mean, if a judge pronounces you guilty of such an offense, there's nothing you can do. That person, you can't. Who will you report? You can't report to the president or to the governor. You have been validly deprived of your right to life. Now that's the first one. The second one is because, like I mentioned earlier, that coupled with your right to life is the right to defend that right. Now, if a person, let's say person A, wants to defend his or her life from person B, his or her life or property from person B, and in the process of trying to defend his or her life, kills person B, who is the assaulter, person B just wasted his life, because if such a case is reported to the police or whatever, maybe at most that person will be charged to court for manslaughter. But because the person was, fighting in, defense of his or her life or property, or fighting for somebody on somebody else's behalf, you have lost your life. You just wasted your life. You just like that. So how do you not get in that situation where you lose your right to life by virtue of fighting? Do not go fighting. Don't fight. If something seems beyond you, report to the law enforcement agents. I know that sounds a little tricky, but it is way better than you losing your life validly to somebody who was defending him or herself. So that's the second one. The third one is, if a person who is in police custody, maybe a prisoner or somebody who has been detained by law enforcement agents, if that person tries to escape. Now, there's something that you should understand, that you should not, if law enforcement agents, try to effect an arrest on you, do not resist arrest. Do not try to run away. Follow them. When you get to the police station or wherever it is that you're held in custody, request to talk to your lawyer. But you see that running away thing, if police shoot you and you die, you've lost your life, and you've lost it validly. So please do not resist arrest. If you've been detained, stay there, wait. Even if it seems like, maybe you're being arrested or detained for something you did not do, there are other ways you can, obtain a release. But running away is not funny, not a joke. Then the third thing is, in the process of trying to calm down a riot or an insurrection, a law enforcement agent who, in the process of trying to calm down a riot or an insurrection, who maybe shoots someone or injures someone and that person loses his or her life, such a person has lost his life validly, because the law enforcement agent was in the process of trying to calm things down, and unfortunately you lost your life. So it is important that you do not okay, now I'll say it this way. I think it is important. Protesting, or protesting is one of our, is in a democratic society, is something that is allowed, that is encouraged, as long as it is done within the parameters of the law. So for instance, how do you ensure that a protest that you intend to embark on, follows due process or is lawful? It is important that you inform the authorities, law enforcement agents, maybe the police, your local government chairman or council chairman, whoever is an authority in your locality. It is important to inform them of your planned protest or whatever the case may be. It is always very important, because history has always shown that a lot of times people might intend to may plan something like a protest, good intentions, everything is supposed to be going on well, and then all of a sudden it is hijacked. Or like you have in the NSAS protest, where hoodlums are sponsored to come and hijack the protest, and you do not want to be involved in that kind of fracas. No matter how legitimate your concerns and your agitations are, it is important to follow due process. So how do you ensure that you do not lose your life in the midst of a protest? You inform the authorities so that they are aware of what is going on. Sometimes it is possible to even enlist the support and the protection of law enforcement agents so that they can protect you from infiltration by unruly persons. Okay, now when you consider our right to life and the what do they call it now? The limitations to our right to life. There is no place in the Constitution or in any other law that is in force in Nigeria where extrajudicial killings is a reason or is a valid reason why somebody's right to life should be deprived or should be taken. And when we talk about extrajudicial killings, we mean killings that are committed outside of what is provided for by the law. That's what happens when SARS operatives take people and kill them without actually charging them to court for whatever offense they are supposedly or they are allegedly committed. That happens where people are killed in police custody for no reason without even being charged to court. Extrajudicial killings are, they are unlawful, to be honest. Just to be plain and simple, they are unlawful, and persons who perpetrate such killings should be brought to book. And I think that was one of the reasons why Nigerians were so passionate about the NSAS protest, because there were killings. Even if these people, it is purported or it is believed that the SARS units came about to combat internet fraud and all of that. But even at that, it is important for the court or the law to take its just course. You cannot take the law into your hand. Even if you are Buhari, if Buhari pulls the trigger on someone, he will be liable for murder or extrajudicial killings, because he does not have the right to do that. He's not empowered by any law whatsoever to kill someone. So that would extrajudicial killings is wrong, and it is a negation of a person's right to life. Anybody who engages in such type of killings is a criminal, is a murderer, even without being pronounced so in the court of law. So every Nigerian, in conclusion, every Nigerian is born with the right to life. However, it is not absolute. It is important for you to understand that it is possible to lose your life validly, and then don't put yourself in positions where you can lose your life and there won't be anything that might be done to save it. I hope that I've helped you understand the position of the law with regards to your right to life, and you also understand that it is possible to lose it validly. I hope that 2021 will be a year when we look for more information, because especially as Nigerians, so that we can live more meaningful lives. I think the mere fact that we were spared, we were not victims of the COVID-19, which is still on, and various other things is testament to the fact that you actually need to live your life more meaningfully, so that, as in appreciation, just have this appreciation for life, because it is not, you're not lucky, you're not more special. That's the word. You're not more special than those who actually lost their lives. Please join me next week, Sunday next week, as we'll be talking about another very interesting right that is important for us to know. Thank you. Bye. Please don't forget to subscribe, and if you have any questions that are law related, please don't forget to leave a comment or your questions in the comment section. I'll be waiting to have discussions with you. As Nigerians, I think it is important for us to have these discussions, because by 2023 they will come again and come and lie to us and give us bobo. But you cannot lie to people who are educated or who know what their rights are. So I think it is very important for us to be prepared. Let's have these discussions, and hopefully 2023, next election year, will meet us prepared. Yes. All right then. Bye.